Hello. Trying again. Recording well, technically it's the third recording, but it will be the second one that is going to get posted. So I hope you're well. I'm going to condense this video. I'm going to shorten it as much as I can because the last time I tried to upload this video, the file was so big that I had a lot of trouble with it. So I'm going to offer at different parts of this video for you to pause, stop the play of the video, and just continue working through things. So instead of me on this video doing 3 rounds of sun salutation A, 3 rounds of sun salutation B, I'm going to offer for you to pause and do between 3 and 5 rounds all on your own. You could also just work through the 1 round with me if 1 round of sun salutation A and 1 round of sun salutation B feels good for you. So, that being said, let's start practicing. Just going to take a couple of minutes to land in this space. Couple big breaths. Notice what it feels like to be in our bodies this morning. How we feel physically. How our energy level is. How focused or scattered our mind feels. With no judgment. Only observation to know what we're bringing into our practice with us. Maybe we take a moment to set an intention for our practice. There's Sankalpa. Just a small statement of why I am practicing yoga today, and what it is going to do for me. And slowly the chin can tuck into the chest. Little by little, the gaze can open to the floor just in front of us. So, just like in the other videos, the only props that I have here are the chair that's over here, this pillow that was just underneath my bum, that is out the size of a firm throw pillow, and the blanket that's underneath me right now. I'm going to start this practice by just bringing ourselves into bound angle. And bound angle, if this doesn't feel wonderful, if you feel like a lot of pulling here or pinching on the outer hip, we can always support by bringing pillows underneath our knees. We could take that pillow way up under our, so it's kind of supporting under our ankle and up by the very top of our thigh bone, if that feels more supportive. And what we're going to do is we're just going to spend a couple of moments in bound angle. So I'm going to take a minute here and just kind of really gently bounce my knees. Super gentle bounce. And take a moment to make sure that I'm sitting up nice and tall. Maybe I take the hands up to the heart here. When my hands are here, supporting my legs a little bit, but I'm also supporting my core a little bit because I'm using I'm using my legs to support my upper body, I'm using my hands to support my lower body, so this feels a little bit more gentle, which might be nice. Maybe it feels nice to bring the hands together in front of the heart, which feels like I'm working a little bit harder. Super gentle bounce, a couple more times. And take a forward fold. So maybe my hands come back to the legs. Maybe my hands come to the floor. And just slowly creep forward. slowly make our way all the way back up. I'm going to bring my knees together here. You can have a blanket under your bum here if you want. It has a little bit more cushion for our tailbone. You could also have nothing under you except for a yoga mat here. I'm gonna come into boat pose. Before I move, my boat pose could be that my heels are on the floor and I'm thinking about tilting my pelvis, so kind of rolling my hip points towards my thighs, keeping my torso nice and long, but kind of leaning back a little bit so that my low back isn't rounding down like this. So if it was here, instead of being like this, I might be like this. Another option could be living here. And we're gonna, if we're on the ground, we're gonna play with rolling our feet out and back together. If I'm lifted here, I'm gonna also move out and back together. Remembering to breathe. And come in, hold my feet. So if my feet are on the ground, I'm going to see if I can pick them up. If my feet are in the air, I'm going to reach in to grab them, bring the soles together, bring my feet in. Take a moment to lengthen through my back. I'm going to play with bringing one leg out at a time. So I'm going to go out and back in, out and back in. Maybe my leg doesn't come straight, and that's okay. I'm just going to send it out, my foot as far away from the midline as I can. Another option would be to have our hands not holding our feet. Out and back in, out and back in. And do this a couple more times. Feels wonderful. And then all the way back to our bound ankle pose. Hands holding the legs or hands coming down to the floor. From here, we're going to make our way back to downward facing dog. So one of the things I might do here is just cross my ankles, hands come to the floor, push the outer edges of my feet into the ground to see if I can lift my bum. Step back to plank. Find my plank pose here. And then find my downward dog. I'm going to move this blanket out of the way. I'm going to work through one round of sun salutation A and one round of sun salutation B. And you are welcome to pause the video and work through additional rounds if that feels like it would be nice for your body. So from my down dog, I'm going to come back to the top of my mat. Breathe in. Bring a little bend to my knees, let my upper body dangle. Slowly roll all the way up to standing. Hands at my heart. From here, big breath in, arms reach up. Big breath out, forward fold. Big breath in, halfway up. Big breath out, hands to the ground. We can step, walk, or hop back to plank. Lower through chaturanga. That is too close. Inhale, little back bend, lifting the shoulders away from the ground. Exhale to downward dog. 5 breaths here. On a breath in, I can look forward. On a breath out, I can step or walk my feet back to the top of the mat. Inhale and come halfway up. Exhale and fold forward. Inhale, arms come out to the side, up overhead. Palms come together, hands come to heart. So when I work through, oh, by the way, you could pause this right here and work through a couple more rounds of sun salutation A if you'd like to. When I work through our sun salutation B, I'm going to jump back to chaturanga, which you don't have to do. You could step back, or you could walk back, or you could step back to plank, or you could hop back to plank and lower to chaturanga. But we've been breaking down jumping back to chaturanga in some of our classes, so that's why I'm going to offer that right now. So as I move through sun salutation B, big breath in, arms come up overhead, hips sink back. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale to come halfway up. Exhale, I'm going to bring my hands to the ground. I'm going to hop back to chaturanga. Inhale to lift the heart. Exhale to downward dog. Right leg can reach up and step forward. Big breath in to high lunge. Exhale, hands to the ground. Moving through chaturanga. Inhale to lift the heart. Exhale to downward dog. Left foot reaches up. Pulling it forward, rising to our high lunge. Exhale, hands to the ground, moving through chaturanga again. Inhale to lift the heart. Exhale to downward dog for 5 breaths. On an inhale, we can look forward. Exhale, we can step, walk, or hop. Inhale to come halfway up. Exhale to fold down. Inhale to chair pose. Exhale to Samasthiti. So from here again, you are welcome to pause the video and work through a couple more rounds if you would like to. I'm going to continue on because we're not doing an incredibly long video today. We're going to move into kind of the, movement patterns that we've been working with. We start with a traditional pose. We end with a not so traditional pose. But the moving there between poses is the fun part. So, coming into tree pose. If you have issues with your knees, you really don't want to put your foot on the inside of your knee and push out. But if your knees are really healthy, to the best of my understanding, from what I have learned, it's totally fine. Even though I learned a long time ago never to put your foot on the inside of your knee, my understanding now is that it's totally fine as long as you don't have injury to your knee. So we're going to come into an active version of tree pose here. So I'm going to start by bringing my foot to the inside of my leg. And then I'm only going to bring the foot up as far as I can without assisting with my hands. If I use my hands, I can reach in and grab my foot and pull it up real high, push my foot into my leg. And it's not that that's bad, but it's just like before when I was explaining how when I was holding my legs in boat pose, I was giving support for both parts of my body. Where here, I'm not giving support, I'm using my muscles to lift my leg as high as I can go. And in your body, that could be the same thing. In my body, totally not. So if I come foot to the inside of my ankle, and I slowly start to come up, that's it. That's all I have. That's my active range of motion in this movement. So from here, I'm gonna pause, find my balance, and I'm gonna move towards like an bound version of extended hand to big toe pose, where my arms are gonna come out and my foot is gonna come out, but I'm not gonna hold my hand with my foot. So big breath in, I'm gonna focus my gaze. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale one last time. Pause. And release. Big breath in. Arms can come up overhead. Big breath out. Fold forward. Give a little wiggle if you want. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, fold again. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, hands back to the heart. Same thing on the other side. We're gonna find that active tree pose, sliding my foot up. I don't know if you can hear my foot sliding in my leggings, but my feet need a pedicure so bad. So dry. Once I found my balance, I start to move. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Pause, hold, release. Come into Ganesha's pose here. Eyes can close if that doesn't make you feel too dizzy. Just gonna spin. Let my hands tap the sides of my body, which to my body feels wonderfully soothing. Slow this down. Come all the way back to center. One last kind of working movement. I'm going to come down. This is another posture that we have been working on in some of our other classes. So you could work on this with a chair. If I'm in a chair here, I could squat down towards my chair, lowering myself with awareness. I could bring the insides of my feet together and think about that active movement of pushing my knees apart. Pause right here. Another option is I could do this without a chair. So coming into a really big squat. This is why the chair might be nice, because it's a lot of flexion for our knees, also for our hips. It doesn't work in everyone's body. If it doesn't work in your body, it might just be that it needs more practice. It might be that this movement just doesn't work in your body, and it may never work in your body. So I'm gonna come into a squat to start. So I'm gonna come really deep and lift my heels up. I'm gonna bring the soles of my feet right in together. Pause. I could have hands on the floor here and focus on being here. Maybe start to bring my hands up. Balance right here for a few breaths. And when you're ready, you can come all the way down. Did a lot of turning out there of our knees, a lot of external rotation of our thighs. So here we're going to focus on doing the opposite of that. One knee at a time. I'm going to let come in towards the midline. I find in my body, the farther apart I bring my feet, the more intense the sensation is. So you can choose what feels the best in your body right now. I'm going to bring my feet a little bit farther apart. One knee at a time, rolls in towards the midline. And the other leg, we're going to try really hard to keep it unmoving. The next time that we go to move, we might bring both of our knees in together, or we could also still just alternate one leg at a time. I'm just going to pause here, breathe. From here, we're going to move to constructive resting pose. So I'm going to walk my feet in closer so they're just in line with my hips. I'm going to bring my hands to the ground. I'm just going to try to find like a neutral feeling for my pelvis. I don't want to feel like it's rocking forward. I don't want to feel like I'm tucking under and flattening my low back. So just a couple of times here, I'm going to pick up my hips, just ever so slightly change the tilt of my pelvis until I feel like it's neutral. You could pause here and hold in this pose for a couple of minutes, 5 minutes, whatever feels the nicest for you. And then we might move into Savasana. So coming into Savasana, the legs might be stretched out long. The palms might turn to face up. We could take that blanket that we have and we could roll and bring that under our knees. That little bend in our knees can help to support our low back. Arms could be up overhead. There's no really wrong way. You could do Shavasana from your belly. You could do Shavasana lying on your side, especially if you are expecting. And then we just stay here. Maybe you put on some soothing music and set a timer for 5 or 10 or 15 minutes. Maybe you put on a little guided meditation. We have a few guided meditations on our Spotify account, and today I'm going to be adding a guided Shavasana also. And then just be here in this pose for as long as you want.